This is Starforged, Tabula Rasa, written and performed by Redstone Archenderis. Based on the game by Shawn Tomkin. Hello, and welcome to Starforged Tabula Rasa, the continuing adventures of Janya on his quest to destroy the villainous pirate clan that has taken over a large region of space. Of course, this vow is very much complicated by the fact that in pursuing that goal, he interacted with an alien symbiote, which is now embedded in both his neck and brain, the tendrils of the symbiote having destroyed all of his previous memories, but granting him strange powers of which he is still learning about. Most recently, Janya has just returned from the Cortana Rift system, where he was trying to find some allies. Along the way, he faced off against energy beings, created in part with the help of his friend Ulan Finn, who has actually enlisted him in trying to destroy them. Unfortunately, the villainous pirate clan's hold on the sector was too strong, and Janya could not face them alone, but he was able to escape with a new ally, Kayla Shepard, one of the children of the archaeologists at the Vesper Station orbiting Nemesis in that Cortana Rift system. And now we rejoin Janya as he's at the Cybroco station yet again, having been patched up from some of the injuries he acquired on the way to the Cortana Rift. So, time to begin play. First off, I think the fact that Janya has made contact with the Cortana Rift system, he's brought back an ally. I'm going to mark one more progress on our vow to defeat the villainous pirate clan. That's it's a formidable vow, so we're going to have one more box of progress filled, bringing us to 3 boxes total filled. I also think that as soon as he's able, our bounty hunter shoots a tight beam communication to Ulan, basically fill him in on what's been going on, how he ran into the energy beings, and I think he's ready to swear that iron vow to destroy them. He hadn't sworn it previously because he hadn't really faced them, but let us roll that swear an iron vow. This is going to be plus heart, which is +1, but we also have a connection with him, which will add another +1. Oh! Alright, so that is I rolled a 6 on the action die, so plus our 2 becomes an 8. And that is versus a 1 and a 7 for a strong hit. We add 2 momentum to our track, so now we're at 3 momentum. And I'm going to roll... Well, I think that actually adds progress in our relationship with Ulan, which he was a troublesome rank, so that means we fill up 3 more boxes, bringing us to 9 progress on that track. And I think it's time to forge a bond. That swearing this vow, I think it really means something. It's really bringing up their relationship to the next level, because Janya is willing to go destroy these things with him. So I'm just rolling the 2 challenge dice versus our 9. And that's a 2 and a 7, so that's another strong hit. And so that means we've forged a bond with Ulan Finn. I am marking 1 tick on our Legacy Bonds track. It's our first tick ever. Oh, well, we need a rank for this vow. So how hard is this actually going to be to destroy the energy beings? Let's just see. So that's 29 on the percentile dice, and I'm going off that table I made. And that's just a troublesome vow. Oh, actually, okay, so if it's only troublesome, I think we find out that the Bloodied Arch, which was one of the next spots right after meeting the energy beings, I think that actually has something to do with it. Maybe that is where Ulan that's where the energy is coming from, because if you remember, the Bloodied Arch was a ascendancy, it's the Essentia monument that was actually pulling energy from a star into itself. It was an energy conduit, and maybe that's where Ulan actually helped create the energy beings. That seems pretty likely. So I'm gonna roll on the Ask the Oracle table. I'm gonna call it likely, so 76 and higher. That is a yes. They were created there. That's a 52, so that's a yes. They're created there. And one of the things we were under the assumption of is if the Ascendancy is actually, it's the Essentia, actively helping the pirate clan and using the energy beings for their aid, because it seemed like he was ambushed by those energy beings. But we're gonna do a gather information. So he's gonna talk with, well, actually, I think he's gonna bring in Ulan Finn and also Augur, the station's AI over here at Sirocco, just to see if he can figure out if that is actually true. So I'm actually going to add +1 from both this connection with Ulan and I'm just a joint one for Ulan and the station AI. So it's plus wits to gather information, so that'll be a +3 plus another one, so +4 total. And that is a 5 on the die, plus our 4 is a 9, versus a 2 and an 8, so that's a strong hit. On a strong hit, you discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or the action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn, then take +2 momentum. That's going to bring us up to +5 momentum. So finally we're in some pretty decent positives. I think it turns out they aren't. I think it's just due to proximity of being at the Bloodied Arch where they were created. That's why Janya ran into them there. If he can take out that facility or stop them from spawning there, he now actually has an easier route around the blockade that the Valinus clan has made to stop people from getting to the Cortana Rift. Yeah, so I think, he knows if he can get there, somehow go to that facility, he's going to explore that, and if he can stop it there, the clan is relying on those creatures as part of the blockade, but they're not actively allies. I think that's what we learned. Well, it's time. We've got to... It looks like it's very clear what we need to do. We need to head to the Bloodied Arch, get into that Ascendancy area, and take care of that. And we happen to have a friend who has been doing this for a while. So the question is, though, does Kayla want to come? I think it's unlikely that she is pretty much willing to come. That's a 76 or above on the ASCII Oracle table. And I'm going to roll real quick. Oh! Yeah, that is an 87. She's totally down to come. We have someone who actually knows how to do this. She's willing to come. I think Ulan, we have to ask Ulan too. He was instrumental in this stuff. I think it's almost certain he wants to come. Oh, wow. Drop the die. All right, let's try that again. It's 11 and above. Almost certain. Oh, that is a 77, so that's a yes. So we have 2 crew. We need to go pick up Ulan. Ooh, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to barter over at Sylvana. Sylvana is where Ulan is. He's going to try to barter there. Try to get some supply, because he is still unprepared. And I realize I've been saying the Ascendancy when I mean the Essentia, because I've been listening to someone else's podcast, Errant Adventures, where that's what they're doing. I've got a different world, and I really enjoyed that podcast. Check them out. They're pretty cool. I hope that doesn't count as an ad, because I ain't getting any money from them, so... Actually, I think he's going to work on getting the aquaponics setup going again, and so I think he's crafting some of his own food, and we're going to see if we can do that. He's going to go pick up Ulan, and Ulan doesn't know. Does Ulan know about growing food? I don't think he does. I think it's a very small chance Ulan can help. That's 91 and greater. That's a 13. Ooh, but what about Kayla? Does Kayla know anything about growing the food? Let's go with unlikely, 76 and above, 53. Okay, so we got 2 no's there, so it's just going to be Janya on his own, trying to figure this out. Maybe there's some notes in the computer or something, but it's roll plus wits on resupply. So I rolled a 2 on the die, plus our 3 wits makes it a 5, which beats the 2, not the 7, weak hit. So on a hit... since we are unprepared, we are clearing the impact. We're taking +1 supply, so we're up to +1 supply, which means our momentum reset value is actually back up to +2. But since it is a weak hit, we must also first deal with a cost, complication, or demand. Envision the nature of this obstacle. I think we're actually going to drop back down to 2 momentum, because I think he's got to get stuff growing again. I think it's just as simple as it takes time. because we're talking about growing food. It doesn't take a ton of time, I mean, because aquaponics is a quicker growing method. Ooh, maybe the fish died. He had to, like, get some new fish. Yeah, but we're at +3 momentum. We've got +1 supplies, and I think we're going to set a course to the Bloodied Arch. We know how to get there. It is kind of a perilous path, and we are going to take the safest course. So that's using our navigator ability. The safest route, we're going to add +1 on this roll instead of getting +2 momentum on a hit. Oh no, I've been doing this wrong. When you set a course, you roll plus supply. Plus supply. We only have +1 supply. We set a course earlier and we had 0 supply. But anyway, you know what? You make mistakes, you move forward. So we're rolling +1 on this. Ooh. Even though I know what I'm doing, I'm still doing it. Oh, that is a 6 on the die. Plus our 1 supply brings us to 7, which beats both the 2 and the 6. Oh my goodness, we barely made that. A strong hit, a strong hit. And on a strong hit, you reach your destination and the situation there favors you. Take +1 momentum, so we're up to 4 momentum now. And we've made it to the Bloodied Arch. And I forgot to add the +1 on setting a course. So I should have taken the other way and gotten the 2 momentum, but it's okay. It's okay. It means we definitely got a strong hit. We're doing good. We've made it to the Bloodied Arch. The situation favors us. There's currently we do a quick scan, and there's no energy beings currently in the area. Of course, that could change. So the crew of the Implacable lands on the planet, a desert world that has been destroyed by this object, the spiky sphere that has embedded itself in the planet. I think before they go in, Janya's going to get the crew to huddle up, and they're going to try to... He's down a little bit on spirit, so he's going to try to hearten. He's going to try to get them motivated for their expedition. And since we have Ulan with us, and we share a bond with him, that'll give us a +1, along with our heart, which is +1. That's a total of +2. Ooh, and that is a 5 on the die, plus our 2 is 7, versus a 6 and a 9, so that's a weak hit. So I'm going to take the spirit, and we're going to drop our momentum down to 3. So spirit's at +5, momentum's at +3. So it gets cut short. So I think Kayla's like antsy to go into this new place now that she feels a little bit more connected with the crew. She's not worried that they're gonna leave her to die horribly, like her parents might have. Probably did a few times. So let's do some first looks. So now that we've landed and the crew leaves the ship, they're heading towards the monument. What are a couple of the first features they see as they start entering? That is a 10. Carried tech is disrupted due to. And 34. Evidence of looting / scavenging. Ooh, and before we go in, we need to determine the rank of this expedition. I'm going to roll just on that table I made. Ooh, that is an 82. That is formidable, which means for every progress we get, we'll fill a full box of the 10 progress boxes. Alright, so I believe the crew is approaching, and they see... Ulan is leading them because he's been here before, and he leads them up to the giant sphere and to an entrance that has clearly been cut open before. So we see some evidence of the looters that have come before, and a bunch of handheld equipment that's been discarded. So scanners and whatnot that all seem to be deactivated. And Ulan's like, oh, don't worry about it. I've been here before. And we are going to undertake an expedition with vigilance. We are keeping our eyes open as we enter. So that'll be +3 from our wits. Alright, so that is a 2 on the die, plus our 3 is 5, versus a 4 and a 9, which is a weak hit. So we're going to mark progress, but we either face stuff along the way or what we encounter there. So let's look on the interior feature table. That is 76. Unintelligible recorded message. Oh, okay, so I think this is probably... I mean, they just got inside. There's probably some sort of authorization that they need to do. I think they're going to try to bypass this, and because Ulan's been here before, he's knowledgeable about the Essentia. he's going to help them do this. So we're going to add his +2 from him, because not only do we have a connection, we have a bond with him. So it's going to be face danger. I'm trying to bypass this with expertise, so that'll be plus wits. So that'll be a total of +5. Ooh, so I rolled a 4. +5 is a 9 versus a 6 and a 7. That's a strong hit. So yeah, we are bypassing this initial security. I think we're going to explore this initial area. Let's see what we can find out as we first come in. And so we're using vigilance, and we still got Ulan Finn with us, so that's still going to be a +5 still. That's another 4 on the die. +5 is a 9 versus a 7 and an 8. That's another strong hit. We get +2 momentum from that. Or we can mark progress, but I think we're going to take the momentum. So I think, because I'd really like to bump that up, I think they find like a diagram of some of the features here inside the monument, and it's going to help them navigate their path better, and they're going to press on. So let's do another expedition roll. Again, we're doing vigilance, and we've got Ulan with us, so that's a total +5. Oh, I rolled a 1 on the die, so +5 is 6. Versus a 5 and a 9, so that's a weak hit. We're marking progress again, so now we have 2 boxes of progress. And let's see what we see. Interior feature. 61. The remains of intruders. Well, this is perfect. I was trying to decide if we should take the -2 suffer moves or face a peril here at the waypoint. I think it's pretty obvious, since there are remains on the ground. We're going to face a peril here. So as they head into the next room, they see all these bodies, and that's where we're going to stop for this time, and we're going to pick it up next time. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening. This week's episode featured music by Tabletop Audio. Additional music also comes from freepd.com.
To learn what happens, keep listening. This show is brought to you ad-free by privilege. No ads, no Patreon, just a cishet white man with disposable income and time. It is performed, edited, and all that good stuff by Redstone Archenderis. The story is powered by the game Ironsworn, Starforged by Shawn Tomkin. Outro by Glitter Snitchel, channeling the spirits. This has been a Sofa King Cool production.